phrase, "It's not about winning, it's about taking part," is not for her. Turn the whole dance world upside down and always be the first, that's her goal. In spite of all the difficulties, in spite of anything. Movements that are difficult to keep track of, costumes from which it is impossible to look away, plastic and stretch that surprise the audience, all this is about the directions of modern sport dances that are brilliantly performed by our young and tiny heroine, Anastasia Makohonenko from Odesa. She dances in two dance styles, disco and slow. I have been practicing disco for 4 years. Disco is when you dance fast, while slow is when you dance slowly. She also engages in sports acrobatics and, of course, choreography. These are the most difficult dance styles. Disco combines acrobatic jumps, it combines professional choreographic training, and it is the most difficult and complex style of dance. The history of disco dances dates back to the 1970s. Initially, this musical genre became popular in the US. Later, the disco dance itself evolved under the influence of various styles, and today disco is one of the most popular modern genres of sports dancing. Nastya had no choice because she grew up in a gym since her early years as an infant. Right from the start, she was waiting for me laying and resting on the mat. Then later on she started training and had a strong desire to engage in this dance. I was a member of the jury at championships, and when I became pregnant I felt that she was dancing inside of me. And when she heard fast music in this disco style, she actively began to push very hard. It was then that I realized that she was a natural born and future disco dancer. Today, Nastya is a 5-time champion of the IDO Grand Prix World Dance Olympiad in solo and duet performances. She is also the vice champion of the world in the Dance Fever Championship, which was held in the Czech Republic. She is also a 4-time winner of the Samson International Tournament. She has already managed to win 4 medals in the first Ukrainian Diamond Cup of the new dance season, and this is not a complete list of the victories of this young, energetic Ukrainian champion. You rejoice listening to a national anthem of your native country. Perform in huge halls, everybody stands up and applauds you, and a large photograph is displayed on the full screen. These emotions are not easy to express. Every time I see our athletes, I shed tears. I can't help myself when everyone stands applauding and our athletes are singing the national anthem of Ukraine. It's an amazing and practically indescribable feeling. However, Nastya's sports career began long before her birth. Even in her early childhood, Nastya's mother Alexandra was engaged in dancing so seriously that one day she decided to open her own dance school. That was 14 years ago. I was then 15 years old when I opened my dance school. In the future, we started from scratch. I started to raise students first to such a level as the championships of the region and major cups of Ukraine. Over time, we entered the world stage in the World Cup and in Europe, where the largest tournaments of the world are held. Nastya's dance career began at the age of 3. She gave the first performances in her native city of Odesa, and the first major tournament she performed it was the All-Ukrainian Dance Olympiad in Ternopil 2 years ago. She first danced in the beginners categories, and there she took first place, and then she danced in the Premier League, where there were professional dancers, and she took second place. Performing for the first time in the tournament of the Major League and taking second place was a highly respectable result. Nastya found another application for her artistic abilities, modeling. Her career in the fashion industry began when she was only 4 years old. Then the girl passed a casting to participate in Ukrainian Fashion Week. She represented 4 designers and was in her Ukrainian dress. We represented a very famous Kyiv designer, Margarita Kozak. She made us a Ukrainian outfit. It was quite crazy, and after this outfit was shown all over the internet. The parents wrote to me asking where we got this outfit because they were so enthralled by its beautiful and aesthetic look. After that, the young athlete started receiving invitations to shows and photo shoots for magazine covers, and once she even received an offer to become the face of a children's clothing brand of a famous Odesa designer. When the first time Nastya came to my showroom, this child was so beautiful. I really love beautiful children. She was probably one of the most beautiful children I had ever seen in my life. We talked for about 2 hours, and it turned out that this young girl was not just beautiful, but also incredibly talented. For me, of course, this is very, very cool. Nastya herself is delighted with her work in this sphere because the love for beauty was naturally born in her. Because I wear beautiful dresses, and I understand that I have to dress beautifully all the time in order to win. Nastya always strives to be number one. The phrase "it's not about winning, it's about taking part" is not her lexicon. So it is in the dance school where she trains. The goal is only to win the first prize place. This is why our dance club sweeps away a large number of awards at all major championships. Since childhood she has heard all this. She is in this environment and she realizes that the main thing is victory. That is why she prepares herself seriously in order to achieve victory. She loves the stage very much. She can be shy in ordinary life, but when she goes on stage, that's it. She changes, she bursts out right away, and she waits with bated breath to compete and win in these tournaments. At the same time, she's nervous, has certain stage fright, and sometimes even cries when she goes up on the stage. I should always be the first, so that after that I can always happily enjoy the thrill of victory. Seriously dating training precedes victories. Nastya can return home from the gym late in the evening, especially when serious preparations for tournaments are in progress. Very hard work and daily training. She has a very high load, and since she still attended classes at school this year, it is very difficult to combine studies and training, but we are trying our best. It's very hard to be both a coach and a mother, but I understand that our school is one of the strongest in Ukraine and even in the world. And nobody can do better than me to train her and put her on the right track to victory.
Я ее никто не сможет натренировать и поставить ей постановки.
В паре это легко танцевать, а тяжелее танцевать только в диско, потому когда я сама танцую, потому что нужно самой бороться, чтобы выиграть.
Of course, sometimes there are difficulties, tears and high emotions, but this is only hardens the girl and motivates her to achieve victory. I didn't succeed, and then I did it. I could not do leg splits, and then I did them when I fell in love with dancing. When my mother judges, then I know that I will dance well.
I
remember that the main thing is to dance and take first place. You have to smile. You need to have a beautiful costume, and you need to perform an impressive dance. She certainly really likes it. I will not say that I force her. It happens, of course, when she wants to sit in her smartphone. I tell her, Nastya, it's time to train. And she is like, oh, training. But she goes there. She runs off and rushes to modeling. When Vika has a photo shoot, she jitters and says, Mom, faster, faster, let's run. At some events in the hall, she says, now I want to dance the show, I want it badly. She inspires me. I say, Nastya, no, no. But Mom, I want to dance the duet Jasmine and the all-Ukrainian Olympiad with Ksenia. All the more you should look perfect on the stage, because appearance is one of the main criteria for the jury's appraisal of the performance. Nastya's mother often sits on the jury of various competitions and knows what an ideal victory performance should be. We evaluate according to the system, technique, composition and image. The technique includes its complexity of performing the elements, the purity of the elements. The composition just consists of the correct selection of the composition, lines, placement in space and image. The jury gives 10 points for a costume, makeup, ability to behave on the side and compliance with the image and style of dance. For example, she cannot dance a slow program in a disco costume. This is also very important, and the judges carefully take all of these criteria into account when giving points to the performers. Stage costumes for disco and slow dance are very bright, sparkling, and due to the number of stones and applications, sometimes they are quite burdensome. Costumes are often complemented by various elements: sleeves, gloves, bracelets on arms and legs, and other accessories. The costume should create a single image.
Самый популярный.
Our most popular costumes are of English brands.
Их несколько.
There are several of them. The best dancers in the world receive costumes from sponsors.
И вот чем
The
лучше
better you perform, the better you will be sponsored by one of the English brands that will give their preference. The costumes are crazy, costing from €1,000, and there are absolutely no limits. The costume will cost as much as the number of many jewels it is adorned with.
сколько камней, столько будет стоить костюм, сколько пачек на нем камней.
У меня есть костюм,
I have one red costume with a bow on the back.
а другой
Another pink costume for the slow program is open in front.
там открыт, красиво открыт он.
All details of the costume must be well fixed, and the same applies to hairstyles. This moment of preparation for performances is the one that Nastya likes the least.
Очень тяжело, конечно.
Of course, it's very hard to do her hair, because the tail for the disco dance and for slow must be very strong.
Он должен был очень крепкий, он должен держать.
It must hold on and not fall apart during the dance. And the tournaments begin at 8 o'clock in the morning when she takes part in the selection. For example, on the stage there are 100 participants of her category. 80 of them advance to the next round, and the another 60 go through the selection process from 8 a.m. until late evening. Only then do the finals begin.
Финал. И только вечером проходит финал.
In the modeling industry, Nastya also has to overcome certain obstacles. At one of the shows in Odesa, she had to walk along an unusual catwalk, a street staircase showing off a dress with a long train and a veil with balloons.
Она проявила себя, конечно.
In the end, she proved herself 100% with her gait and her unbelievably charming and beautiful smile.
Все подметили.
The members of the jury and the audience truly noticed her beautiful dress that was suited for her, especially for the performance.
Очень
Nastya really presented herself beautifully and walked along the catwalk in a very enchanting way.
Очень
The show was very gentle, beautiful and sophisticated. This proved that Nastya has the skill, beauty and charm to cope very easily with just about any task.
Или джинсы, ей надо только платье. Она
She doesn't like to show us pants or sports suits or jeans, only dresses. She's a real young lady who needs to go out in dresses, and with Victoria they have such mutual love. Victoria sews super cool dresses for children, and Nastya runs to her shouting out, "Where is Vika? Where is my beloved Vika?"
мероприятием, вернее, перед каждым ее соревнованием.
Nastya has a little secret. Before each of her events, she has an agreement. In every competition, she must have a new dress that will give her an incentive to win.
Сказать, что она боец,
It's hard to call my princess a fighter, but she really fights. She is strong in character and is naturally born winner, so she is like me.
по натуре. То есть, чем она напоминает меня. Я считаю, когда...
I think this is a very good feature for a child. It is these children who will strive and achieve fairly high goals
достаточно
and show the beauty and talent of Ukraine on a world level.
Украину на мировом уровне.
Nastya's motivation for victory is ironclad. In the future, she dreams of following in her mother's footsteps and educating champions who will in the future glorify Ukraine just like her.
Хотела стать официанткой
I wanted to become a waitress and a salesperson,
и продавать, но больше маме
but my ultimate dream is to become a coach.
Тренером.
Это не обсуждается.
And this is out of the question. She asks me, "Mom, will you give me your dance school? When I grow up, I already want to train people." Daring and talented, bold and restless, independent and happy. They are our future. They are the bright future of Ukraine.